What's up, everybody? Welcome. This is a Monday edition. This is something we haven't done in quite a while. We have an incredibly awesome show. We have got some really good information. Jake and I are rocking on our new microphones, our new booms. And we're going to be talking about a company that he has created for one of the followers of the show and kind of how this is going to revolutionize your business in 2022. But Jake, before we get to Free Move USA, I want to talk a little bit about you, my friend. Who are you? Where are you from? What you doing? And what kind of cool stuff you got brewing over there, man?
Yeah, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Jake Wolfe. I'm the CEO of Clever Leads. And today we're going to talk about freemoveusa.com and what it is and how it's going to really revolutionize your business. We're going to talk about the unique selling propositions of the Free Move program, how you can implement it into your business, and really start getting into dominating your competition with true value offers that you're passing along to your clients, which really resonates, right? So that's what we're going to get into today, Greg.
I love it. Let's talk about value add to your business. What would that look like on just a consumer, side of the table? A lot of people talk about I can stage your home, I can do the photos, I can help put some money up front to help your property get moved faster. But what would, in your opinion, what you've seen, because you are a studier of humans and you have really been looking at the real estate industry for the last couple of years, where does that value add start?
So product or businesses of all types, right? We're talking service related products or service related industries and product related industries. Everybody's always trying to identify what is their unique selling proposition. And once they have that, then that's what they go ahead and propose to their prospective consumers, right? It's why am I better than the competition? What kind of financial incentives do I have that I can offer to my consumer? And why should people just do business with me instead of my competition? So as we started to take a look at the real estate industry in the dynamics of what really resonates with consumers, also where can we add value financially and of personal convenience that really makes the mark. And one of the big things that we focused in on was the whole moving programs. Most consumers right now, they find themselves in a position where they're spending sometimes $10, $15, $25,000 on moving expenses with a lot of these retail options that are out there right now.
So what it means, so let's walk down what Free Move USA really kind of looks like. Because I mean, if you can save between $10,000 and $25,000 on moving costs, I could go to you and your wife and your beautiful children, and I say, you guys, I'm really excited to work with you. Thanks so much for picking me as your realtor. I can on closing day, I can either buy you a barbecue or I can move you for free anywhere in the lower 48. What kind of value do you feel that adds to the consumer's experience of real estate? Because there was a poll taken back in 2014 that stated the fact that consumers, buyers and sellers, would rather spend a weekend in prison, not jail, prison, because of how bad the experience was. So what is Free Move USA going to do for us on that one?
Well, I know a lot of people, right? They've probably done this themselves, and it is a pain in the rear end to go ahead and actually lift a lot of these heavy, cumbersome boxes into rental moving trucks, or if they actually have another service go ahead and come in, it is a heavy expense. So when we're talking about unique selling propositions, it's about you as a real estate professional being able to offer something in both of those categories, right? So the Free Move USA side, when we just focus in on the financial aspects of this, it is a huge cost savings for people. And most of the time people are thinking about how much money are we going to be able to go ahead and get from the closing on our home. And most of the time they're not factoring in that big expense. And then all of a sudden, when they start seeking out options for 26-foot rental trucks or some of these different moving connexes and things like that, or if they get these quotes from these big companies, the price tag's pretty heavy. So freemoveusa.com comes in with our national partners in the logistics management company and our local moving vendors as well. We work with the real estate agent teams in that area to go ahead and really develop the move. And it's covered as a gesture out of closing by the real estate agent. And it really passes along that financial savings. So we've developed a model to where we can go ahead and source and work with independent owner operator trucks and local moving companies and bring the pricing in 60 to 70% less than what most consumers can expect on a retail marketplace type option. So already we're in a really good price point category because of our relationships. We're able to go ahead and really take a lot of the built-in profit that's most of these big moving companies add into their markup and margin. And now the real estate agent, it's easy for them to go ahead and cover as a gesture at closing. So it really changes the dynamic quite a bit. And one of our big suggestions to everybody that owns a home is they should check with us at freemoveusa.com first to connect with one of our certified local real estate agents to go ahead and find out how much they can actually save on their move before connecting with another real estate agent. So we've got a big call center set up. We receive phone calls through freemoveusa.com, and then we work with our local agents, brokers, and teams in their area, and are giving zip code exclusivity as well, Greg. So that way they can be the only people in their area that has this value offering.
You know, the thing I love about this the most, I'm going to tell you a very funny story about this, and I've talked about it a couple of times on the show. When I moved my girlfriend, we moved. That girl is strong as shit, by the way. We moved her. I've moved her 7 or 8 times at this point. And the thing that I love about Free Move USA so much is the fact that when we moved her out of her old house, we moved her into a pod. Then we took the pod, went to a storage facility. We went to go, the pod was supposed to be delivered to us. When it got here, they said they couldn't put it in our driveway because our driveway wasn't it was like 6 inches off of what they needed. So they just drove it away. We had to drive over to Oakland. We had to contact the manager. We had to get a hold of him. They had to get an employee to bring the pod out. Then we had to go and find a 26-foot moving truck, by the way. Funny you mentioned that number. Yeah. Take it from the pod, put it in the truck, take the truck, drive it to San Francisco on this very steep hill that she lives on. And then we had to unload it. Then I'd take the damn thing back and drop it off. And meanwhile, I could barely walk or feel my arms or legs anymore because I had just moved probably 3,000 pounds of stuff up a hill. And so to eliminate the cost of the pods and the U-Haul, and it also comes down to time, it was a very frustrating day. And that's what I really love in regards to kind of what Free Move USA does, is that you guys have independent contractors. You have people who are ready to move it in. It's a no muss, no fuss opportunity where you can really save your customers and clients, buyers and sellers, a lot of time, energy, frustration and headache and sweat and blood and tears, purely by allowing a professional real estate agent like one of ours in our team to represent you, and then it's all done. I mean, I literally was at the dog park this morning and I was talking about this opportunity. And one of the guys he's thinking about selling, he's like, wait a minute, hold up. Are you telling me that if I work with you, you're going to pay for my move and I don't have to deal with anything? I said, my team will literally set everything up for you and they will execute. And it'll just be delivered to you and you're going to save $10,000 to $25,000. And he was like, you could hear a stunned silence behind him. It was, I was amazed by the impact. And I've actually used Free Move USA before it was Free Move USA. And I've had one conversation, this is not a joke, with one client, and I've gotten 3 deals out of that one conversation because people light up like a Roman candle and talk about the fact that you're gonna save them money and relieve stress because this is a stressful event.
The nice thing about our program is it works in your local area and then all the way across the country. So if you have somebody, Greg, like from your area that's planning on listing their home in the San Francisco type region, and they're moving to, let's say, Boise, Idaho, or Reno, or across the country, these programs work there as well. What we've seen with our data sets that are coming back, typically about 80% of all of the moves in the United States of America could be 100% covered by, I would say, roughly half of a $300,000 to $350,000 home transaction as a gesture by the real estate agent. So we're already keeping the price points low. We've worked for the last year and a half to go ahead and really tap into national vendors all across the United States of America. We work with a tremendous amount of local moving companies to help assist with the load and unload at those locations. It's 100% above boards here, and it really does make a big impact. So what we've done is we work with exclusive teams in your zip code area. So freemoveusa.com, there's a registration page for the agents. They can go ahead and sign up and fill out some information about themselves as an individual agent or a team leader or a broker. After we go ahead and review the process, then we get in contact with you and help you get set up in your local area with your local moving vendors as a relationship, and then also all trained through the whole moving process and how to go ahead and submit for moves once for moving quotes. But we've empowered the real estate agents. So everybody is going to be able to take a look at what the moving estimate is first before your consumer sees it. And then they can go ahead and make a decision whether or not they want to go ahead and cover the whole move as a gesture at closing, or if they want to split it, if there's going to be some type of client contribution. We even have some brokers right now out of some rural parts of Montana who are in an area where the median household pricing is about $150,000 for their home. So there's not a lot of meat on the bone from a commission standpoint to help with this gesture. But she knows that there's already a 60 to 70% savings. So it's nice for her to put out some different literature and marketing material in her local area that just says, hey guys, before you choose a real estate agent, come check with me first. I can help you get moved to and from this part of Montana for 60 to 70% less. So it really creates a virality in the marketplace. You're able to put something out there that's a strong, unique selling proposition that hits the mark from a financial and a personal convenience standpoint, and really get into those conversations first before anybody else in your marketplace, because you have something that you're passing along to these folks. So it's really nice. We've seen a lot of positive stories from this nonstop throughout the last year.
Well, the funny thing is, and the good thing is that according to NAR stats, 83% of the time, the person who gets interviewed, the agent gets interviewed first, gets the deal. So if I come to you and say, hey, Jake and your beautiful family, I'm going to do blank, 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 blank. Also, what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to save 60 to 70% of your moving costs. I'm going to take that right off the table, and I'll absorb that, and I'll move you for free. We just need to make sure your home qualifies for the parameters. Also, we're going to do some professional photos, and we're going to do staging and everything else. This is something that, like, you put this into an advertisement somewhere, and someone that reads it and goes, "Oh my gosh, if this guy's real, then I'm going to call him." The referrals are your big play here as an agent, because yes, you might lose a little bit of money, but all of us, hands down, all of us, we would pay a 25% referral fee for any deal that came and got dropped in our laps. So if someone says, "Hey, Jake, I'll pay for your move. Come over and work with me. Let's go to work," and you'll get everything else and this. And now, if you own your zip codes, and guys, let me be very clear, I own 0.00000% of this company. This is not something I'm promoting as a value add to myself. What I'm saying is this is a value add to you guys, so you can go out there and crush your competition in regards to sitting down and saying, yes, I'm a new agent, but if you want to work with Bob from Remax, and we all know we hate that motherfucker, then fine, but you're going to pay for your own move. That's $10,000 out of your pocket to $25,000 out of your pocket. I might be new, I might be reinventing myself, but I'm going to take on that cost, and it's going to be at a zero issue for you because my team's going to take care of it for you. That is a strong offer. Jake, tell me, when I just said that to you, how did that feel? Like, did it feel like I was selling you, or did it feel like I was bringing value to you?
Well, no, it really is true value, right? And a lot of the agents are putting that kind of a message out to their sphere of influence and their friends and their family. So many people right now are talking about actually relocating, right? And most of the folks that are having these types of conversations, if they knew that if they connected with you, Greg, and that you had an opportunity to help them save with this moving cost and this personal convenience, it would go ahead and make the mark. And most of the time you would end up getting the listing because your competitors just aren't offering something of this value. And like you said, it really is a pain in the rear end.
It really is a pain in the rear end. Let me give you a quick little story. We have a lot of great comments here. We have Veronica, we have Brandy, we have Tony. We're going to answer a couple of you guys' questions here really quickly. But when, as you guys all know, I love my cats, and I had 2 of them until they both passed away. And we were recording this on what is today's date? What is today's date? I don't even know what today's date is. Anyways,
December 6th.
December 6th. A year ago on December 9th, I had to put my second cat down day before my birthday. Really fucking sucked. Like, I told my girlfriend, don't even worry about how much vodka I'm going to drink tonight because this blows. Anyways, I digress. The reason why I'm talking about this is that when I had my cats, Chewy.com, which is a pet food company, and everything else, anyways, just go to Chewy.com, you can check them out. I ordered the wrong food. And so I called them up and I said, I am so sorry, I screwed up. And my cats aren't eating this food. How can I get it back to you? And this is where it correlates. And they said, no, sir, we're not going to let you send it back to us. But what we are going to do is we're going to give you a brand new order of exactly what you want at no additional cost. And all we want you to do is donate that food to a shelter. Now, the point that I'm making here is convenience. They didn't make me go to the post office. They didn't make me print anything. They gave me my money back. They bought me more food, and they sent it over to me. And every time I talk to them, it's the easiest and simplest human transaction. So simplicity, the whole KISS theory, keep it simple, stupid, really works. And that's what I love about Free Move USA is it is the KISS theory. There's no moving parts. The consumer doesn't have to be involved in it. They just need to pack their boxes. And you know what? We actually even have professional packers here in my area that will actually pack everything. So it's like literally everything is done for you. And that's what I love about it. It's consumer service. That's what we're in the business for.
Greg, another thing that we focused on at freemoveusa.com is we understand that people who are possibly looking to purchase or sell their home are searching. They're looking for different real estate agents if they don't know them. However, we now, since we work with teams in a local area and we offer this exclusivity to the individual agent who secures their zip code, the team and all of the folks on their team, or a broker, he can also go ahead and secure a territory and offer this to all of the rest of the agents underneath them. So we're working with those local groups of individuals. Once they get certified, they can go ahead and choose an advertising type package where we're putting out professional freemoveusa.com commercials and advertisements on a lot of different social mediums. And we're driving people back to freemoveusa.com where they can learn more information about the program and understand its benefits and its frequently asked questions. But our call center is set up in a way that our employees will go ahead and receive the phone call. We'll talk to the prospective home seller or buyer, get some simple information about who those folks are and what's going on. And then we link those people up with the teams inside of that area once we find out where they're moving to and from. So that's what's really nice about really kind of driving awareness and attention, is utilizing the Free Move USA brand, and all of the teams that have that territory secured are ultimately sitting behind it. And we qualify everybody for you on your behalf and get you guys some information.
See, that's what I love about it. Like I said, it's a business in a box. And so whenever the agents are ready to do this, it's just done for them. I want to touch on a couple of things really quickly. Sure. Veronica out of Texarkana, Texas, she's asked, can you move livestock? And then I'm pretty sure she's not joking, but is that something that you guys could move?
Well, right now we're looking at moving residential household items to and from different locations in the local area or across the United States. So as far as livestock, that's an edge case. Right now, we don't have that in our programs. The other one that we get quite frequently is shipping vehicles. So that's another one too. Right now, we don't have the ability to go ahead and ship and move people's personal vehicles, but we do have some companies across the nation that we can refer any of your prospective clients to go ahead and get those vehicles moved. So that's usually one of the biggest questions, because some people have that extra vehicle and need to get it moved. So.
Okay. Brandy says she is down. It sounds legit. She sent me her email where I will get it over to you so you guys can get in communication in regards to that. And then Tony has a question here right now. What are the basic air quotes qualified home for a free move? So Jake, walk us through that.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that we've developed is when we understand the numbers and we say 90% of homes qualify for the full free move program across the United States. We know from our data that typically the real estate commission can go ahead and cover the majority or all of the move. So we never offer a full free move right out of the gate. We always say that 90% of homes qualify so that these folks can go ahead and enter their information and we can evaluate their move. Every single one of these things are unique in their own regard, right? So we don't know if Mr. Smith has a standard 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, but he also has a storage unit with a whole bunch of maybe machinery type equipment, stuff that he also wants to get to his next location. So we evaluate each one of these moves. We take a look at the total amount of stuff that they need to go ahead and get from point A to point B. And then we take a look at the logistics side of it to find out how much, like how many trucks are going to be needed. At that way, we can go ahead and develop the estimate to go ahead and get that person moved, and we empower the real estate agents. So at that point, then somebody like Tony can go ahead and actually take a look at the way that the deal is structured on his side, and he can make a decision on whether or not he wants to cover all of the expenses as a gesture of closing, or if there's some type of client contribution. So, yeah, but we do see that the majority of moves are kind of coming into this $6,000 to $8,000 price point range if people are moving from state to state, which in comparison, most of these homeowners that are selling or buying are receiving $20,000 plus moving quotes from some of the retail options that are out there. So it's pretty substantial. We just went ahead and moved a family from Denver to Virginia here a couple months ago. They were receiving $24,000 quotes from some of the name brand companies that were out there.
Wait, 24,000?
That's correct. Yeah. So they ended up finding a company who was a couple $1,000s less than that original moving quote, just to save themselves some money. They had to put $5,000 down to reserve the time frame. Problem was, moving day came. The movers didn't show up. Day 2 happened and day 3 happened. They just didn't show up. And we ended up getting contacted by somebody that was close to the company that we do some professional business with. And they asked us to go ahead and help out. We were able to go ahead and source a semi driver at 3:00 in the afternoon. They were there by 8 a.m. the next morning. We hired a local company to go ahead and load. We had another local company in Virginia to go ahead and offload. All in, we were $7,500 in comparison to the $24,000 quotes. So, and that was with us paying $1,000 or $1,500 more to professional owner operator driver who's licensed, bonded, and insured to go ahead and come over and pick up all of this stuff. And we had professional movers on each side. So with understanding these price points, now the real estate agent can go ahead and say, well, the moving quote for this family is $7,500. I can go ahead and contribute $5,000 from the deal, and the actual homeowner contribution would be maybe $2,000 or $2,500 left over if you're going to do a split type option. So even then, we see most people that do split on any of these different moves, the homeowners are extremely ecstatic, and they're always coming back saying, well, how could I even get my stuff from point A to point B for that when I can't even rent a 26-foot moving truck, do it myself before I even put diesel or insurance in it. So, but the dynamics of each and every single one of us as humans and the amount of stuff that we accumulate throughout the years and the distance of where we're going, it all factors into the actual quote itself. So, but
that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes total sense. And the really cool thing about it is that every deal and everything in real estate is unique. There's nothing standard about a real estate deal. Nothing. Yeah. I mean, and one of the things is that if you're moving your friends that are going to be moving 6 blocks away, or they're going to be moving 6 states away, it doesn't matter, because the word of mouth, guys, and I can speak to this with honest, real life examples of the people when you impact their lives and you save them money and you make their life easier through one of the biggest transitions that they're going to go through or have gone through in maybe not quite a while. All of a sudden, you go from Joe Agent or Jane Agent to superhero of the millennia because you just saved their kids, maybe their tuition or their down payment for an investment property or whatever else they're going to be doing. And it is an impactful opportunity. And this gives you the ability to ask for referrals. So if I'm going to say, hey, Jake, Serenity, I'm really thankful for you guys working with us right now in your move, and thank you for hiring us. Could you do one thing for me since we're going to be moving you and handling this professionally in the whole 9 yards? Would you mind just keeping me in the front of your brain when it comes to referrals for anyone else who like, or trust that could maybe save a couple of dollars on their next move or next buy? The power of the ask. A lot of the times, a lot of us real estate agents and salespeople, we never do the ask because we're afraid of the rejection. But in retrospect, if you don't ask, you don't get. It's like when you're on a date. If you don't ask for the second date, you're not going to get the second date. So imagine if you just said, I'm pleased to work with you. Would you mind referring me to a couple of other folks? And once that flywheel kicks in, and they understand and they go to freemoveusa.com and they understand the programming and how it works, not programming, but the program, excuse me. They're going to be like, holy macaroni, like, how have I not known about this? Well, it's because it didn't fucking exist before this. That's why they didn't know about it. And no, it's not normal.
We've spent the last year and a half developing freemoveusa.com behind the scenes to go ahead and offer this as a nationwide opportunity. And we're working with Clever Leads and built out the Clever Nation so that each and every single one of the agents can have and secure their own zip code territory. So what else is nice is that, let's say you are a Free Move USA certified agent in Minneapolis and you develop a listing and those folks are moving to Fort Worth, Texas. You're able to look inside the network, find the other Clever Nation Free Move certified agent in your area that those people are moving to. You're able to link up with them and also help share in the cost of the move and pick up those referrals. So nationwide referral capability is something that we built into the program. Each and every single one of the agents will have their own agent listing page inside of the Clever Nation so they can find each other and have conversations. But from a national brand perspective, we've developed a lot of really awesome commercials and marketing material and stuff to promote Free Move USA, drive that national brand so that the consumer goes there. And then we at the call center are certifying everybody and getting the leads down to the real estate agents that can then go ahead and get belly to belly with these folks, say hello, evaluate the actual transaction, and then go through the moving qualification on that side. We know how important it is that you go ahead and get to your conversation with that prospective consumer first. And having a strong, unique selling proposition like this really makes the mark because you're hitting on potential of financial conveniences and personal conveniences versus your competitor who is basically saying I did it again, or there's just not that strong of these propositions that are in the marketplace right now that really make the mark. But it has a virality to it, Greg. It does. So we've seen a lot of brothers, sisters, aunts, and uncles of somebody that already went ahead and got moved coming through and saying, hey, how do I take advantage of this? And there's a lot of mass migration that's happening right now. We're seeing it all across the nation. And it really does make a big mark.
Oh, a huge mark. Actually, the funny thing is this popped in my brain. I don't know why I didn't think about this before. But my uncle, who's extremely successful, he just sold his company for buku buckos. He called me up and said, Greg, I got some questions about moving and real estate. And so he and I had a conversation that, Free Move USA wasn't up yet, so I couldn't advise him over there, but he would have taken advantage of that in a microsecond because he loves deals. But I want to jump back to something really quickly that you mentioned that I forgot to ask, and I meant to ask it earlier. When it comes down to the ads, now I'm not asking for the cost. I'm asking for production. You guys have already created the ads. The agents don't really have to do anything on that side again, right?
So we know that people resonate with these national brands. You think about your Coca-Colas, your Pepsis, and you think about a lot of the brands that are in the real estate marketplace right now. So we've done exactly the same thing. And the whole call to action at freemoveusa.com is explaining the program and also advising them to go ahead and enter their information on freemoveusa.com. And one of our associates would reach out to them, or they can call us directly at the call center, where we have employees that are set up to evaluate, ask questions, and then connect those prospective homeowners with the certified agent or team or brokerage in that area. And it's all above board. It's very clear. We advise them that they should go ahead and get in touch with one of our agents first instead of anybody else. That way they can evaluate how much they can save on their potential upcoming move. And there's no obligation there, but we know that you as an agent or a team, once you start having these conversations with people in your local area, we know that 85 to 90% of those folks only choose one person anyway, and you're able to offer these gestures. So it's all set up. Our professional advertising, we do OTT commercials, we retarget, we do all of the social advertising.
Let's talk about OTT really quickly, just because, I mean, you and I know what that means, because you and I speak like literally 3 times a day.
Sure.
But what does that mean?
Well, we've chosen OTT advertising, and it's something that we do at Clever Leads to really get into the televisions with 15 and 30-second commercials inside of folks' homes on their new connected their televisions. So a lot of people are now streaming their HGTV channels and Nat Geo and History and all of the stuff through their connected television in app. And it gives us an opportunity to deliver and place commercials inside of the homes when people are viewing their television. So our advertising packages with freemoveusa.com are very dynamic, and we have the ability to go out and put these commercials in people's homes and then retarget on pre-roll advertising on major sports and major news and in social arenas. So that's what the real estate agents can expect. And that's when they choose an advertising package, they're fueling the mechanisms to go ahead and drive traffic from their local territories right back to Free Move USA, where our call center is going to qualify these people and then hand these folks down to these people. So that's
so what you're telling me is that hand in hand with Clever, with Free Move USA, you are going to be doing over the top marketing, which is OTT, down to their streaming services. Then you can drop a geofence. It was an invisible geographical fence onto all smart devices with similar advertisements in branding. You guys have already produced the ad. So literally the agent has to do like a quick little cameo, do like a head turn and a smile or whatever it's going to be, or it just can be completely branded to Free Move USA that pushes back to the call center for that agent. So there's no real legwork in it for the agent. So the agent can still be out there buying and selling, writing contracts and negotiating.
That's correct.
And you guys are the engine behind the vehicle. Is that what I'm understanding?
That's correct. Yeah. To go ahead and get started, really the agent would have to see if their territory is available. They would go through the registration process on the agent page at freemoveusa.com. And then we would take them through their transportation onboarding and training and understanding the programs and everything else, so they can get into a position to receive. The agent team or brokerage can go ahead and choose a monthly advertising package that then we use as fuel to go ahead and just start sending out all of the freemoveusa.com professional advertisements into that area. And that's what's nice about the brand, because we're prompting these folks back to the national brand. We're saying, call our call center to get connected with our local certified agent in your area. And we're driving those leads down to these different people. So
you know the thing about this that I love the most, and this is why I really wanted to bring you on the show and really have a conversation about this, is the fact that real estate agents, we are all entrepreneurs, but sometimes we act as if we're employees of ourselves, right? We have to do everything ourselves. But when you can free up the things you're not good at, the things you're afraid of, the marketing, the right verbiage, the right landing pages, the right ability to bring value add. This is something, along with Clever, and all you guys know, I'm a huge fan of Clever Leads because they brought me a lot of business. So I'm here to promote them, promote this. Again, no ownership, not selling, just telling you what I'm using and what's going to be coming down in your marketplaces. It gives it gives a lot of agents, a feeling of freedom because they're like, oh shit, now I don't have to do this. Perfect. And I can pick my package, and it starts at, I don't even know where the price points start, but I'm sure they're probably in a low couple $100s in that area, right?
Yeah. So from a security zip code standpoint, we're offering exclusive security for $97 a zip code. So agents can come in and purchase their zip code territory or multiple zip code territories. And then we stand behind you guys and partner with everybody so that you have that exclusivity in your local area. And then we can choose an advertising package that works for you and your team right now, as it is from a reoccurring standpoint, and power up all those leads and then get these people back to the call center. So it's we're looking to have a nationwide coverage here very fast. This podcast right now is actually day one, and we have thousands and thousands of agents that we're going to reach out to and say hello, so that they can start securing their zip code territories, that we can get everybody set up and rocking and rolling. We've worked with a lot of beta agents, and there's a tremendous amount of people that have extreme success with this. And we've been waiting for our nationwide coverage from a transportation and logistics management to get into a position to receive and get the call centers all set up. And so we wanted to offer this out to the Real Estate Uncensored community first and foremost, because we love REU.
Hey, brother, I appreciate you more than you know. And imagine this, guys and gals. Imagine if you were able to go into your database, extract your database, then you go and you secure your zip codes with Free Move USA, right? You upload your information over to likely.ai, and they analyze your database. You understand exactly who the most likely people are to sell, that people already know, like, and trust you. And then Jake and his team over at Free Move USA and Clever Leads, they're going to be able to drop geofencing and all kinds of other marketing directly on these people about this free move opportunity. If you tell me that's a losing opportunity, I will quit my job right now, because you can't beat someone who's going to come in and say, well, I'm the number one agent and I sold blah, blah, blah houses. That's fucking fantastic for you. Don't give a flying fuck about you and your sales. You're going to save me $10,000 to $25,000. Yeah, I'm going to have a conversation with you for sure. There's a question though. Tony has a question. Does it come with wrapping in boxes and unwrapping and when moving? I'm going to go with no on that, Tony. They're a mover, not a packer. Jake, can you confirm that for me, please?
Yeah. So our logistics management side of freemoveusa.com, as soon as we know that the move is going to go down, right? So Tony could go ahead and secure the listing. We could go through the estimation process and find out how it's going to get covered. At that point, we have a account logistics manager that gets in touch with the homeowner. So we have all of the items that they can ship and shouldn't ship, things like flammable material and things like that. But we can also go ahead and send out packing and moving material, so that those folks can go ahead and start packing up different things. And we can add that also into the gesture. We work with local moving vendors in each one of these locations. So we're contacting and building our local vendor teams that we use for loading and unloading. They also can help us by going out and doing a site estimate of the actual property. Once volume gets high in a certain area, we will be looking at hiring full-time representatives that go out and do estimations in your local area. So if you're in a high volume type territory, all that can happen. But we do send out packing material and dunnage and different things after the estimation process a lot of times with this. And we can factor that all into the whole move program. So the nice thing about how we get involved from a consumer relationship, as soon as you guys have your focus for your core competency on the listing or the purchase of the home, we're moving in to engage with your homeowner that's selling or the buyer, and we have account managers set up to go ahead and actually walk everybody through that process.
Okay, so I was 100% wrong on that idea. All right, so good to hear that you guys are a one-stop shop on this thing. So the house has to be completely packed up when the movers show up. Is that accurate?
The majority of the homeowners take on that responsibility of packing up their own stuff. They just naturally do. There are people that do ask for somebody to come in and do the pack out, and whenever we do incur that type of scenario, we'll work with the local vendors to go ahead and analyze any of their packing services that they can get into the home and get things set up as well. So if those are in play, that might be an additional expense that's incurred. But once again, the real estate agent is able to go ahead and look at the full cost for the services that they know that their home seller or buyer is going to need. And they can evaluate if they want to cover it in full as a gesture or make a split. So sometimes those additional services are your client contribution component. So
I love it.
Like I said, each one of these are dynamic. Inside of your moving submission forms in the Clever Nation, you guys are able to put any additional details that we should have or need a focus on for the move. So if it's somebody that's elderly and they can't pack up their things, we're all so dynamic as humans, and we evaluate every single one of these moves individually because of it.
So let's recap really quickly. So guys and gals, ladies and germs, when it comes to buying and selling real estate, 83% of the time per NAR stats, they're going to go with the first agent that they interview. So if you can come in, you say you can save them cost, time, then you can save them 60 to 70% on their moving costs. There's going to be ads run for you on your budget into the marketplace, into the homes that are in your area of expertise. I mean, I'm sorry. That is such a dynamic, powerful opportunity for you to dominate in 2022, because we're recording this on December 6th in 2021. And any other year beyond this, Jake and his team have built this network across the United States. So you guys are covered pretty much wherever you are. Of course, reach out to freemoveusa.com, get clarified in regards to costs and kind of your location and if zip codes are available. But I mean, if you guys want to go from, and I'm not saying you're a zero, but it's the old saying, from zero to hero, in a very short amount of time with both your friends, your family, and trusted loved ones and your past clients, not to mention future clients and prospects, by purely being able to be associated with something that nobody else can offer. This is something you guys should take a look at. I am actively involved with them. Now, again, clarifying again, I own zero part of this company. I have no vested interest in this. I'm just sharing what's new in the industry and what nobody else has to offer. Jake, where can people get a hold of you, reach out and talk to you and your team and your staff, get an appointment set, kind of get the ball rolling with their zip code or zip codes? Because there are teams out there that you've told me about that are buying up dozens, if not hundreds of zip codes just for their team, and they're expanding teams in different states and different cities. So, I mean, we haven't even put the word out yet, and this shit's already taken off on like a wildfire. So where can they reach out to you?
Yeah, go to freemoveusa.com. On the agent page, there's some information that explains the process, but you can also go ahead and fill out the agent registration form, and then one of our folks will get in contact with you and get everybody set up so that you know if your territory is available for you to secure, and then go through a lot of the onboarding and transportation meetings and understanding the process. Get enrolled into the Clever Nation, get all set up, and then choose your advertising package. It's really that simple, Greg. And what's nice about this is, after an agent is in a position to receive, and now all of a sudden the forward advertising is going out, now we work and partner with them. A lot of these folks are calling through the call center, and this is what's nice. Most real estate agents, obviously, you guys are very lead focused, right? And that's important. You always have to fill your pipeline with new prospective clients so that you can go ahead and bridge any gaps in the future. This works when the market is up and the market is down, because it's an expense that these people are going to have to incur regardless. However, from a lead perspective, I'm sure it's very difficult for most people to go ahead and enter their contact information onto a landing page, a website form, and things like that without something in exchange, right? And when we prompt folks to go ahead and call the call center, speak with a live human being, get more information, it really helps. So the phones are on and ringing, and we look forward to working with you guys inside of your local marketplace to be that unique group, and that's offering this out to the marketplace when your competition isn't.
Perfect. I absolutely love it. Guys, it's something Jake doesn't even know I'm going to say right now. If and when you guys contact them and you get information, I'm going to coordinate with Free Move USA and Jake and Clever Leads, and I'm going to get my link for Greg's favorite scripts so you guys can get audio and written versions of my favorite scripts so that you guys can learn how to put those out there into the world a little bit more. Again, look at the screen. It is Free Move USA. It is a phenomenal opportunity to stand heads and shoulders above any of your competition in any listing presentation and buyer communication. Reach out to them, guys. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different today, Jake. Now this is something I haven't done for about a year and a half, but this, and I know Matt's going to cut this song off, and that's totally fine. But this is a little inspirational song that I put at all the end of my shows when I do beers and calls. But Jake, you're incredible. Free Move USA. Why can I not speak today? I need lunch.